We're building a pond for Coyote Peterson.
This is going to be an awesome little feature because it's for his snapping turtles.
There was no hesitation of like, well, this is why you wouldn't. The answer was immediately, oh yeah, we can make something amazing there.
Hey everyone, it's Jack with Team Aquascape. I'm out here with Ed, the pond professor. We're building a pond for Coyote Peterson. What are we building it for?
We are building a pond today for my baby snapping turtle Nubbly. When I say baby, she's actually 6 years old, but most people know snapping turtles as being these huge prehistoric looking reptiles.
Coyote and I had a call without you, Jack. Unfortunately, yeah. I think you weren't available, but what we discussed was doing a pond similar to like what we did for Dr. Peter Pritchard. So for his alligator snapping turtles. So we want to have an intake bay, which is going to be a pre-filter type of a system. We have a false bottom built in, and we're using what we call aqua blocks. So these are going to mix the water, and it's going to be a sedimentation trap. Cool. So the water gets flowed in, the pump sits at the bottom of all this stuff. It's nicely, heavily barricaded. I use them a lot in a lot of different type of animal enclosures because the animals cannot really get to the mechanicals at all. And it looks really natural. So it's going to look literally like your creek bed right here in the back of the property. Other end is going to get a wetland filtration system. It's going to mimic a natural wetland or marsh type of a system. Okay. We have some biological filtration media. We're going to plant it up with different types of aquatic vegetation. We're going to add in some of that really cool driftwood stuff that you brought out. And then from there, it's going to go into a deep water zone. We did talk with some of the local guys here about getting some sand for the bottom, some either river sand or swimming pool filter sand works really well. Okay. Put that down on the bottom so she could actually burrow herself into that environment. The other thing that we did for snapping turtles, because they can dig, like they can be pretty powerful.
Well, she likes to move her environment around.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we have what we call concrete cloth. Okay. So it's a membrane, it's a geotextile membrane, and it's impregnated with cement, Portland cement. Oh,
so it's like a semi-porous cement layer.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. So it's rock hard. I use it for all types of animal enclosures, like you're not going to get through it. So that's kind of where we're at right now. What we want to do first, we got to pull out some plants. Yeah. We're going to clean everything off. We'll get some spray paint. We'll mark everything out.
So Coyote, what do you think?
I'm impressed. I have to say, when I originally envisioned the work it would take to put in this pond, I thought I'd be scraping off a layer of soil and then we'd be putting down a liner and filling this thing with water. The depth of the holes that you guys are digging is mind-boggling, and the fact that we have to get that entire tree stump out of there tomorrow just makes it more exciting. Yeah,
it definitely was an unforeseen that we saw today. We only had a couple hours that we worked with today, came out here, we were able to dig everything. We unfortunately found that tree stump, but that'll be kind of tomorrow's task, is getting that stump out of there. But I think we got pretty far for what we did today. We got the wetland in, so that's always a plus. We got that ready for fabric and liner, and then once we get the tree stump out, as a crew's working over there, we're gonna come through, we're gonna fine tune everything, and then hopefully by the time they're done with that, we're gonna go through fabric and line everything, and then we're gonna start rocking in the pond, and then starting from our wetland and working our way out.
You know, we avoided the rain today, and there may be some rain tomorrow, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we get nice sunny skies and that you guys
It's better than 2 days ago, because when Ed and I were back in Chicago and we looked at the weather, it looked like 100% rain. So thankfully today, at least it was a little dry.
Yeah, it'd be a lot tougher to dig in the mud for you guys in this instance, but man, progress is amazing so far. Tomorrow, it's gonna be epic.
got the stump after a couple hours.
Dude, that was insane.
Yeah.
I would have never imagined a stump causing that much trouble for so many machine and so many men. You know, the 100 men versus one gorilla? This is like 100 men versus one stump, and it was wild.
Yeah, that stump was definitely a doozy for us, but we got it out. We're going through cleaning everything up. We were staging where our aqua blocks are gonna go for our intake bay. We got that all fine-tuned. Now we're just digging out the bottom of the hole just to get down to our 2-foot depth. That's what we're kind of going for, so that way the turtle can get down in there and has a place to kind of go down into deeper water. So just kind of making different habitats for this thing, and it's looking pretty good. So hopefully the rain is holding out for us, and as soon as we get the fabric and liner, and we're gonna be able to get going on this.
Just got here, liner going down, always a fun part of the day when that happens. And of course, it's right before potentially the rain, which is a very important thing. And I was just talking to Coyote about the importance of the 5 parts of an ecosystem water feature. The rocks and gravel that are about to go down, the plants and the fish which are gonna go in, the mechanical and biological filters, the pumps and the plumbing. When you put all 5 of those things together as a beautiful pond recipe, you're gonna be assured of results just like you would get in nature, which is ultimately the goal with an Aquascape ecosystem.
Looking amazing. It's really fun to see it go from a hole to then having a liner to then actually seeing the rocks get put into place. And you can see that they're all starting to line up and the pond itself is really beginning to take shape. So the next hour to 2 are going to really determine how this is ultimately going to look visually. And as Ed told me, it comes together very, very quick when that time happens.
All right, right now I'm working on the wetland. We got the fabric and liner in right now. So what we're doing, I have my snorkel and centipede in. I backfill around that centipede. That was just because it's over time, we didn't want this dirt to collapse in on that centipede. We backfilled that. I have my pipe coming out to feed our wetland. Right now we're putting our aqua blocks down. So these aqua blocks are gonna act as our sediment chamber. So that water's gonna flow up. It's gonna disperse over the entire space of the aqua blocks, slowing that water down and then going through our aqua blocks that are filled with bio balls. They're gonna sit on top of the empty aqua blocks. What I wanna do is get our last 2 aqua blocks in, backfill around those, make sure everything's all nice and secure and flat, and then I'm gonna come in our other aqua blocks that are filled with bio balls, and then we'll backfill around that, and then we'll be able to start rocking this wetland in.
All right, we're making great progress here on the Coyote Peterson project. This is going to be an awesome little feature because it's for his snapping turtles. If you're familiar with snapping turtles, they're found in a wide variety of different habitats throughout North America, from slow-moving creeks and streams to sloughs and swamps and lakes, and you name it, very adaptable animal. But they are very seclusive, so they like to dig themselves in and hide under certain areas. So in my mind, I'm trying to have rock overhangs and I'm trying to have logs and things like that. So Coyote found this beautiful piece of driftwood that he brought back from his cabin, and I think it's absolutely perfect because it has the root flare on it. All too often, anytime I'm working on projects, we get these beautiful pieces of wood, but they don't have the root flare, so it's almost like a telephone pole. Exact opposite of what we're looking for. We want to have that nice transition, so you have that vertical element coming down and then just kind of splays out across the water. That's going to be a beautiful little environment for that turtle to kind of dig himself underneath that root flare, exactly like you would find kind of in an undercut bank or something like that, in a creek or river or stream, anywhere throughout its habitat. So just these little subtle things make all the difference in the world.
This is the, oh, hi, Charlie. As I was saying, we got all the rock and gravel in. What we're doing now is on our last 10%, we're going through finishing all the edges. We started in that back section, just worked our way slowly back this way. So as we're going, we don't have that much space to put plants, but Greg was fortunate enough to find some aquatic plants for us. So we're putting those in kind of areas that we want to see flourish with rock and gravel, and to soften up the edges, we're just gonna throw some aquatic plants in. And so Ed's on one side, I'm on the other side. We're just kind of working our way along, backfilling all these edges, making sure they're all nice and high. We shoot for 3 to 4 inches at least above water line. So that way, in case anything settles, that way it has some area, some buffer area to settle a little bit. But hopefully we won't have any of that issue, considering the soil was pretty solid all the way around the patio, but it's looking really good. We are putting sand on the bottom of this. So we did a couple inches of sand just so the turtle can go down in there and burrow down, because we want to add a different areas for him to kind of hang out. So we added a cave. We have a stump, we have that sand, so we can kind of bask in those areas and kind of hide in those areas. But hopefully, I think we have maybe an hour or two left of work.
Always fun with the finishing touches.
Move the van!
Dude, this is awesome. Wow, what? Holy cows. Dang, guys, this is epic. Oh, y'all got shirts?
Yes!
Let's go! I love it. Oh my gosh, this is so epic. Wow, you guys absolutely crushed it. Mind blown. So I haven't seen the pond for over 3 hours now. So I could see where the structure was beginning to fill in. Greatly appreciate you guys being like, just move away from it. Let us do what we do with the final artistic touches. This is mind-boggling to think that this time yesterday, not only were we dealing with what seemed like the impenetrable stump, you guys magically managed to get out of here, but now we have this. Nubbly's gonna be so thrilled.
So
This is unreal.
Nice little water flow coming in. We didn't have a ton of elevation change, so we couldn't have a big waterfall, but I think it fits the space perfectly.
It does.
Right in the back of the property, you have a gently, you know, kind of moving creek. So this kind of mimics that type of an environment.
I mean, look at my eyes right
Thanks,
now.
Fred.
My eyes are like wide open because I can't believe how I saw it a few hours ago transformed into this. And it's the little attention to detail, the aesthetics. You guys even played with the slope of the sidewalk to make sure that when you come around this corner, that you were seeing it in the way it was meant to be presented.
That's exactly it.
Nubbly, who doesn't know as a 6-year-old snapping turtle that she is just a couple of days, once this all filters through and cleans out, from being put into what is essentially like a 20,000 square foot mansion from living in her little 70-gallon aquarium. It's crazy.
That's it. And we got that sand down at the very bottom, so that'll allow her to kind of root around, dig herself in a little bit, and hopefully overwinter.
And with snapping turtles, one thing that's important to note is that this is a reptile that can sustain a massive amount of cold.
Oh, yeah.
People see snapping turtles moving underneath the ice on frozen ponds. So for her to be able to continue the natural progression of her life in the way that she needs to evolve with the natural, all the ingredients that come into an environment, this will help her sustain and grow to be as big as she possibly can.
Completely agree. Absolutely.
This is Nubbly. She's like, okay, a lot of people, cameras, let's go check out my new environment.
Well, Coyote, we're finished. What do you think?
It's amazing. I mean, between when we started just barely 24 hours ago to the complications that we faced and how it looks now as compared to what it was, unbelievable. I mean, Nubbly has no idea how much she's going to enjoy this ecosystem and how important it's going to be for the health of this turtle moving forward.
Yeah, no, it looks great. I'm super happy how everything turned out. And I know, Ed, you were saying that earlier.
No, I think it's a phenomenal little design. I mean, I think it's great. It's perfect for the animal. It's great for your habitat. I mean, this was kind of a quiet little spot on your property. So I think this is, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, you have a little fence here. You have the stamped concrete going around. I mean, it's absolutely ideal.
The thing that I love about Team Aquascapes is that when I sent these pictures to you and to Greg and I said, this looks like it could have a pond, there was no hesitation of like, well, this is why you wouldn't. The answer was immediately, oh yeah, we can make something amazing there. I never thought it would be as elaborate as it was, right? The process you guys went through, the depth of which we went to put in those pumps, and now to know that there's this natural filtration system that's there that you can see the beauty on the surface, but beneath the surface, it's a system that's going to contain itself for years to come.
Absolutely. So our goal is to create water the way nature intended it. We're not trying to manipulate Mother Nature. We're working with Mother Nature as kind of the baseline using reverse engineering, coming up with the exact same thing that happens in lakes, rivers, and streams around the world, but taking the best of those things so we could still get really high quality water, good clarity, but still has all that good microorganisms and all that stuff that allows these animals to flourish.
See, I understand why they call you the pond professor. Ed knows his stuff.
And actually, I was just pulled it up to show Jack. I don't know if you remember the original picture that I sent you.
You mean your chicken scratch on a napkin?
Yeah, but look at how that actually looks right there.
Yeah, it is very close to this.
It is that.
Trust the pond professor. He knows what he's doing. This is the most simplistic design. I was like, I know these guys are the best. And you have proven that you're the best. What's this? A magic rock?
What do you think? What does it look like?
A toad?
Now look at it. Come on.
A snapping turtle head?
Yes.
Yeah.
Snapping turtle.
Yeah, it does. Did you find that specifically for me?
I found it. I thought this is perfect.
Of course, Greg the Pond Guy. He comes in, he likes to put the cherry on top. That's the final shot. You should close the episode with him just placing his final mark on the pond. I love it. There it is.